Hello dear students, I welcome all the standard 10 students on this online classes. Already we have discussed and learned about that machines, then the functions of a machines, the different functions, how that machines is used, on which purpose we are using that machine, that all thing already we have discussed. Then what else we have discussed? Then various terms related to a machine like input, output, load, effort. That all things already we have discussed, and I hope all of you have understood that one. Then mechanical advantage and some properties. That means when that mechanical advantage is greater than 1, less than 1 or equal to 1, accordingly how that machines will work, that all things already we have discussed, and that one is very important also. Okay, we learned that mechanical advantage is nothing but the ratio between the load and effort, that is load divided by effort is called as mechanical advantage. Okay, today we will be going to learn about that velocity ratio of the machines and the efficiency of the machines. Okay, so velocity ratio means the meaning of that velocity ratio is hidden here itself only on the heading itself. It is the ratio between two different velocities. Yes, so let us learn about that one. So let's start it. The velocity ratio VR of a machine is the ratio of the velocity of the effort to the velocity of the load. Yes, obviously we are applying some force on the machine. That means that force is called as effort only. So some velocity will occur in the effort part, and after that, after applying that effort, that machines will overcome that load, or the velocity will be produced in the load part also. So velocity ratio is nothing but the ratio between the velocity of the effort divided by velocity of the load. That is VR is equal to VE divided by VL. Okay, because both that ratios are having the same unit. Yes, velocity divided by velocity. So both the physical quantities are same. Because of that reason only it is not having any unit. As the velocity ratio is the ratio of the same quantities, it has no unit. Okay, so now let's see about that one. If dl is the distance moved by the load in time t, and dE is the distance moved by the effort, then what will happen? So dl is the distance moved by the load, okay, in time t, and dE is the distance moved by the effort in time t. Then what will happen? We know that one velocity is equal to distance divided by time only. Yes, so velocity of the load dl divided by t, distance moved by the load divided by time taken. Then velocity of the effort is equal to distance moved by effort divided by time only. After finding out that one, we can find out the velocity ratio, that is dE divided by t divided by dl divided by t. That t will cancel and it will come dE divided by dl by the definitions of the velocity ratio, that is distance moved by the effort divided by distance moved by the load also will be the velocity ratio. Initially we have read about that as velocity ratio is equal to velocity of the effort divided by velocity of the load, but we can write this one as that the velocity ratio is equal to dE divided by dl, and how we got it also we have discussed. Thus the velocity ratio can also be defined as the ratio of the distance moved by the effort to the distance moved by the load. Okay, I hope all of you have understood. So now some points are given, and these points are very important also. Okay, so let's learn about that one. If the velocity ratio of a machine is greater than 1, that is the displacement of load is less than that of effort, the machine can be used as a force multiplier. So in which case we can use the machine as a force multiplier? If the velocity ratio of a machine is greater than 1. And how it will be greater than 1? that is the displacement of the load obviously is less than that of the effort, then only it will be less than 1, greater than 1. So if the velocity ratio is greater than 1, then the machine is used as a force multiplier. Then the second point, if the velocity ratio of a machine is less than 1, it can be used to gain speed. And the third point, if the velocity ratio of a machine is equal to 1, so in that case, distance moved by the effort is equal to the distance moved by the load. Yes, both are same. That is, the displacement of the load is equal to the effort. Such a machine can be used to change the directions of effort only. Okay, simple one only, but very important also. I hope all of you have understood this one. Then the efficiency of the machine means what? The efficiency of a machine is defined as the ratio of the useful work done by the machines to the work done on the machine. See, efficiency, that symbol is called as eta. Yes, it is looks like n, but not n, that one. Eta, efficiency eta is equal to work done by the machine divided by work done on the machine. If we are finding out the work done, how much amount of work is performed by the machine and how much amount of work we have done on the machine, if we will find out the ratio between them, then it is called as the efficiency of the machine, that is work output WO divided by work input. Okay, as efficiency is also a ratio of same quantities, that is work divided by work, it has also no unit. So in the working of a machine, the point at which the effort is applied will move, and the point at which the effort is applied will move, and the point at which the load is overcome will also move. Obviously, if we are applying some force, that is effort, we are applying some effort, then obviously that load will be also moving to overcome also. Okay, so the point at which the load is overcome will also move. Thus, work is done on the machine by the effort. Obviously, how we are doing work on the machine? By applying effort on the machine only, and by the machine on the load, and that machine can perform some work on the load to overcome it or to complete the work also. Okay, very important line it is given. Work is done on the machine by the effort and by the machine on the load, while the load may be many times more than the effort. Because of that reason only we are using that machine. Normally, by the help of our individually, if we will try to perform such type of work, then it is quite difficult for all of us. Okay, that much amount of force we may not be applied to do that work also. But less amount of force is applied on the machine, but the machine can overcome that large resistive force also. Okay, so while the load may be many times more than the effort, the work done by the machine cannot exceed work done on the machine also. See, very important term is given here. Okay, while the load may be many times more than the effort, the work done by the machine cannot exceed work done on the machine. How much amount of work we have done on the machine, that much amount of work can be output. In a perfect machine, the work done by the machine would be just equal to that done on it. So the work done on the load is always less than the work done by effort. Okay, since some of the work done on the load is used in overcoming friction between various parts of the machine, because of that reason only that work done on the load is always less than the work done by effort also, because some frictional force between different parts of the machine will be there. Yes, some damage will be also there. Because of that reason only it is happening like that. Otherwise, in a perfect machine, the work done by the machine would be just equal to that done on it also. Okay. So up to this much, I think all of you have understood. Next class we will discuss about the relationship between efficiency, mechanical advantage and velocity ratio, and the principle of machines also. Okay, so up to this much, all of you just read it properly and at the same time whatever the previous classes we have discussed that question answer, based on that you must solve all the question answer from the section exercises also. Okay, so this much only. Thank you.